Hello, hello, hello. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning to all we listeners then, wherever you may be in the world, and particularly to people in Australia to whom this broadcast is particularly geared. Now, for we listening audience, because we're the talking Creole, so hello to everybody. And today is Sunday, May 19th, 2024. And as usual, with the country from the United States, Norway, and Canada. So we greatly appreciate una regular listening to we, and we hope, since you understand the ground rules, una go participate enough by way of calling or sending in commentaries or comments. We'll go help for make we educate we all, we self and everything. And so today I get Mr. Jallo Jamboria, a very able and capable person who needs no introduction to the audience, who every time he comes on the show or any other show, he can left we more informed than we were before the show started. So there's always to gather and learn from this man. So Nain go help me in doing the broadcasting today, become a regular co-host, may not be on board. I say may not be because I'm not sure if he will come or not. But if he come, don't be surprised. But if he not come, we'll get a very able person where they play or the substitute line role. Now, again, today we get various trending, meaning things that way they happen in a salon currently, where we go be reckless. Englishman say derelict. It could be a major omission if we not bring them and discuss them to their attention. Some of the issues there have been touched by other people, other shows in the VOS. But it's worth repeating and going over because these are things that really affect the country, the image, the well-being, the socio-economic standing of the country of the ordinary people. So we cannot sit here abroad and then safe countries there and we just pretend like we say we don't know or not that what people are destined for. We need for comment on anything in there. All right, let me start off with, before I tell you I'm waiting at the topics today, make me just touch on a few things where and as a matter of policy or broadcast policy, we can always touch on that. For just remind people that you can call free. If you're in Mexico, you're in America, you're in Canada, please, you can call the toll-free number. We're in 1-866-944-7722. Again, if you're in Mexico, America, or Canada, and you do listen to this show, or you listen to VOS in general, because it's the same numbers, you can call 1-866-944-7722. Now, the toll-free line on the way, it doesn't cost you anything. A free call. Likewise, if you're in England, you get a toll-free line. Not a toll-free, sorry. You get a free line where you can call a local line when a plus 44 2080 891455. Plus 44 2080 891455. You call from England. If you call from Australia, they also get a free line when a plus 61 2909 84337. Plus 61 2909 84337. And no matter which part of the world you're there, if you want to call, like you're in a salon, you're in the most remote area in Australia. Now, any district, now any village, as long as you get cell phone and it's charged, you can call we at the WhatsApp line when at 1-343-997-5828. 1-343 997-5828. We also get a radio station where they operate in Freetown. We're at 98.9. You go where that radio station they carry some of we broadcasting. What would they do? Then you also you can download we mobile app, from Google app or Play Store or Apple app. You'll get that. Also, for reminder now, we are carried on Facebook, we're carried on YouTube, we're carried on WhatsApp. So there are many sources, where we can able catch we for listening to we weekly broadcasting. So we welcome ideas. And please, if in case I forget, the lines will be open as soon as we begin to discuss. So as soon as I tell you the topic. So if we not get anything with respect to what you want to ask concerning the topic where I go project, go ahead and you can call, ask question, or deal with the topic as we expect them to be. Okay? So today broadcast go entail some of the events that will take place. I'm saying all of this before I turn over to Mr. Jamboria, who needs no introduction, but could do your introduction, and then we'll go from there. Our topic for today on the agenda, number one, this ongoing electricity or light crisis, we still go on. It affects even we were there abroad because we're not able to talk to we relatives them back home because everybody they say their phone not charge on a little power than phone get. So we're not even able to get detailed discussion with them because everybody they manage a little power or electricity way they get. And so we're going to touch about that. There is no reason why in this day and age electricity for be a major crisis, but it is. It is. So we want to talk about that, and anybody will get anything for suggest. And we even see some comments by the chief minister. We talk about the future of the country in we hand. Yes, but not we all they run the country. So easy for say in we hand, but the future of the country actually is in the hands of those in the position of authority. And not in all the salon people in hand. So that statement should be a little bit guided or guarded and, quite accurate. Yes, now we go solve the problem, but the future of the country lies in the hands of those who claim. Nobody forced them. Say they want to run the country. Then when they get an authority, then go in a different direction, even when they know better. Say yes, so the future is in the hands of we, the Sierra Leoneans, but it's specifically in the hands of those who assumed. Nobody gave them the power. Nobody say go run for parliament. Nobody say try for be a politician. Nobody say accept ministerial appointment. But you know, go accept the appointment, your performance is low, then you begin say, then the chief electricity, then they do this. But now that make when they come up with policies. If somebody they drive 100 miles an hour on a Pademba Road or Shaka Stevens Street, people are being hit left and right. Is it enough to just say, the future of the country there in the hands of we all, because people that just drive crazy? No, that's why you have government. Government for implement policies within the framework of the rules and the laws and the legislation. So let we left them general statement there. We know we absorb people and from their responsibility. With that said, let me go to my co-host, Mr. Jamboria. Mr. Jamboria, back to you, sir. Introduce yourself, and if you want, we talk about the electricity. With the other topic then for today will be the by-election or the election of the Sierra Leone Bar Association. And the Tollgate issue, how interwoven with all the situations that where they happen, and how the parliamentarians and parliament itself, they act in a deceptive manner. We need for talk, not just the president and the ministers. Them. Parliament, they are very ineffective, and they're doing the country a great disservice. So these guys are going there to serve themselves. But we're not hearing anybody who they talk for the country or for the people. We're going to talk about how parliament are part of the problem instead of being part of the solution. You know? So these are some of the things then. And then we'll keep the area about tripartite. Well, me get a little for say about that tripartite agreement today. So we'll go talk about that if we get time. So that said, I pass on over to Mr. Jamburia. He can start with any topic he chooses. But these are the main area. The Tollgate, the Bar Association, the Tripartite, and the electricity problem. That's plenty for us to talk about. Okay? And let me just make one point clear. Okay. What would they talk? I've always emphasized. Of course, the government of the day carries the responsibility. But we they talk about the endemic problem, the problem in Sierra Leone, not the APC SAPP problem. The problem in Sierra Leone is the way government is structured. We need for reconstruct them, otherwise we will never see the light of day. With that said, let me stop at this point. Let me turn it over to Mr. Jamburia. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. And Fambulem, una good evening, una good afternoon, or good morning. The one that where they close to Australia and China, where they listen. You see, Mr. Shillon don't say a lot about what is happening in Sierra Leone. I always they make a point say, we not look at the problem in root, we look at the results of the problem in root. The problem of Sierra Leone can be summarized within a short 2 or 3 paragraph. And it points to just one single thing. There is an intellectual gap in Sierra Leone. I am being nice using the word intellectual, but actually the real word is there is a mental gap. One of the laws of nature, there are 7 laws of nature where them build all the religion they who they worship from. One of the laws, the first laws of nature, is the law of mentalism. This is absent in Sierra Leone. Sierra Leone is a land where you have people who have lost their spiritual connection with the universe because they have taken over to material and things that are not connected with the universe. Sigismund Freud been defined the human mind as conscious, subconscious, and unconscious. He was making open the first law of nature of mentalism. Another writer, James Allen, will write several books about psychology and parapsychology, etc., say man is mind and his environment is a reflection of how he uses his mind. This is exactly what is happening in Sierra Leone. We want to do good, but because we don't have the mentalic capacity to do good, we do everything wrongly. Sierra Leone is on a track of disaster because even religion said it. I don't know which book in the Bible we say where people lack knowledge, everything is lost. God is not there because God is knowledge. God is the absolute intelligence. It's the absolute knowledge. If you forsake that, then you have nothing. The same religion tell we say, Solomon had wisdom, then he had everything. Wisdom is knowledge. If in Sierra Leone today, we see people that we expect to be of high ethical standards, and they go conduct elections like them baboon, then if you not say something wrong with the mentality in that country. It's not rocket science. It's not assumption. The facts are there for us to research and prove. The historical background of Sierra Leone, people running away from trauma to hide into the forested regions. Then they started fighting each other. If anybody been read the literature book Lord of the Flies, you go understand what they talk. These people, after so much trauma, some of it embedded in their DNA, they can sit up an 11-year stupid war, where after the war, no post-trauma healing was done. The people in power now, the generation of young Sierra Leoneans controlling everything, they were part of the trauma 11 years. Sierra Leone has a population and a government of highly traumatized people. So they do everything wrongly. Even the ethical standards for see somebody in public office dancing publicly. Where people don't have mental issues, that's not done. Boris Johnson was taken out of power for holding a party at 10 Downing Street, which nobody saw. He was taken out of power. But here we see somebody we expect to be of high ethical standards, controlling an institution that is supposed to be run on ethical standards, dancing publicly, pointing like this with somebody. Then the next day, that person wins an election. He conducts as chief elections or what returning officer. Tell me, is that the work of stupidity or madness, Mr. Shillon? We want to
I
do
think
good, but we don't know how to do it. This is the problem of Sierra Leone. Let us look at Sierra Leone from a very scientific point of view. The human being, each of us is a supercomputer. And in each of us, there is 3 levels of operation: the conscious, the subconscious, and the unconscious. Now, this we copy, we make computer. The conscious mind, now in the operating system, you say I get Windows up computer, I get Apple computer or Linux computer. The subconscious, now the hard disk, now they keep all the memory, the thing the way they load into the computer. Then the unconscious, which we don't even use in Sierra Leone, but which is what is affecting our society, is the random access memory, where they determine the capacity. Our unconscious mind in Sierra Leone is not functioning. I don't care whether you have a PhD or whatever, if that part of you is not functioning, you behave like an animal in the bush. Because your unconscious mind is what harbors those hard facts that determine your character. Your unconscious mind is what connects you to other humans. The energy it sends out, the messages it sends out, is what makes you and the other person meet. If my unconscious mind is sending out a message of hate, Mr. Shillon will not be talking to me. That's our situation. I'm giving you a practical analysis of what is wrong in Sierra Leone. All this thing about not having good government, we cannot have good government because we are wrong as a people. God is not partial. Let us take, for example, the Upper Guinea Coast. Let's start with Senegal. Since 1960, Senegal has had Leopold Sédar Senghor. They had, what is his name? The
Wadi.
man before.
Wadi?
After Senghor, there was a leader. Then we had this one that is just going out.
No, you had Wadi.
Now,
Wade.
Wadi, Abdullah Wadi.
Yeah,
Abdullah Wadi. Now,
yeah.
then we had this one going out. Then we
Sal.
have this fellow now. 5. Come to Guinea Conakry. Ahmed Sheku Toure, Lansana Conte, Dadis Kamara. There was an interim short interregnum leader. Then we had Alpha Conde. Then we have Mamadi Doumbouya. 6. Come to Liberia. William Tubman, Tolbert, Samuel Doe, Charles Taylor. We had this
Johnson.
interim professor, Sawyer, Amos
No,
Sawyer,
okay. Then Johnson Salif.
Amos Sawyer, then Johnson Salif, then Ware. And now we have this present leader. Let us count
Bokami.
Sierra Leone's leaders. We have had more than 15 leaders in Sierra Leone since 1961. God is not unfair with us. It's because we have a troubled mind. We don't trust each other. It's that trust, mistrust, that is galvanizing now and taking root in everything we see. We can discuss all these issues from now till thy kingdom come. But if you don't begin to look at these root problems, these events will continue and they will get worse in Sierra Leone. They'll get worse. Because in as much as we would want to say God not agree, God cannot be unfair to us whilst others are prospering. We should ask ourselves, what is wrong about us that we are not doing right? What is wrong about us in Sierra Leone that we are not doing right? And who should do it right? Is it the politicians? Is it the intellectuals? Is it every Sierra Leonean? That's a question we need to be asking. Because we say we want democracy, but at the same time, we are thinking autocratic. We want democracy, but we want our leaders to do everything, and we fold our hands waiting to eat the bread. Senghor made a statement. He had made 2 statements, but because of his, well, maybe he's lacking something, he did say them badly. Governance of a country is everybody's business. And everybody's business begins with establishing and sustaining trust. And that means everybody should respect ethical standards. Nobody should be above the law. But when you take somebody and put him above the law, you tell him the pa, the mommy, you give them the right to behave and misbehave as they like. If our leaders are not doing what they should be doing, we the people are responsible. Julius Madabio will not do what he's doing in Sierra Leone if he does not have supporters. If everybody had said, nobody, not to this we appoint you for, not to this we elect you for, you would have thought otherwise. But go to social media, you see people justifying everything wrong as right. So who is fooling who? It's time we begin to ask these hard questions because Sierra Leone is sliding into disaster. Who is fooling who in Sierra Leone? If una no answer then question, na some of you go keep quiet to wait for tell una hush. I'm talking now to Sierra Leoneans. There are pertinent questions. If we answer them, we go deep into our minds and change a lot of things we have in our minds. Then we will see change begin to happen. And it will be a peaceful one. The very APC wey dey claim say na the main opposition. And of course, I don't believe in the word opposition. We don't have opposition in government. We have a governing party and parties that are co-partners in government. This word opposition is one of the words that are taking us into the bush all the time. Because when you use the word opposition, the connotation is the next man is the enemy. As long as that image of enmity is maintained in our minds, we'll never live together. We'll never work together. And so there'll be no trust built. Rather than talking about opposition, we should be talking about government in waiting or government in partnership. You just said the parliament is not doing its work. Yes, they're not. It's a fact we all know. Because they don't know their roles as government in partnership with the government. All they know is they are there to collect money and to sell their egos around. I am MP. Don't you know who I am? Wait until the day you die. You'll know who you are when they put you down in that 6 feet. The practical issues we have to look at. We cannot continue in this crisis management functions because every day something new happens. We come and talk. This happen, oh, that happen, oh. But what in cause them? The fact is, if you have 7 million Sierra Leoneans, maybe 6,900,000 are crazy people, well dressed, because no post-war trauma was done. No post-war trauma was done. Post-war trauma healing was done after the war ended. And these young boys are today the adults carrying the trauma with them. Do you expect normal behavior from them? Go and ask a clinical scientist or a clinical psychologist. They will tell you no. We need to begin to look at these issues. If we mean to make Sierra Leone someplace, building houses, buying fabulous cars does not show anything. Being in power, misusing power does not show anything. Because it's a proven fact, it's a sociological fact that wealth and power brings out your true character. It does not change you. If Boy Jalo is stupid, the wealthier he becomes, the stupider he becomes. If Boy Jalo is crazy, the wealthier he becomes, the crazier he becomes. It's a fact. I would have advised people to go and research that. Let us take our focus from the material. Let us look at that part of us that should connect us together. What is it that we have lost in this war? The social fabric that held us together. If I can use my computer science illustration, the internet of society in Sierra Leone is infested with a virus, and that virus is called impunity. We have to find a way to get rid of that virus. If not, all these episodes will continue and they will get worse with time. This is just an introduction, sir. Look now to the specific topics then. Over to you, Mr. Shilom.
Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate everything, Mr. Jamboria. Now, let us start off with, say, I think we can start off. Let's start off with the Bar Association. Then we'll go next to the electricity. The election of the Bar Association, I would strongly encourage people and for call, for sending comments. But this is the issue what will be of concern to everybody. What is beyond me is the short-sightedness of we so-called professionals, there, particularly the one we call themselves lawyers of a
Chief, they
once.
have been infested with the impunity virus.
Oh yeah, of a profession that once used to be referred to as the noble profession. So as far as I'm concerned, there is nothing noble about that profession again, at least not in Sierra Leone. So I think it would be a big mistake to ever refer to that profession as a noble profession. The nobility of that profession, it does not apply in Sierra Leone. And this ridiculous phrase where lawyers they refer to each other as learned, I don't see what is so learned about stupidity and short-sightedness. We should stop making references to each other as learned counsel, learned friend. You know, we should discontinue everything because they once upon a time had meaning. They're not getting meaning anymore. I don't consider a lawyer learned unless at the area watching you output. Otherwise, you're just as dumb as the paper where they write your certificate on. But let me stop right there. Let me take a call. Hello, caller. What's your name and where you call from? Sorry, I don't like for ask name. Where you call from? Tell what you want to talk about. Hello, caller. Hello. Okay.
We lost that one.
All right. Maybe we lost the caller. It sounds like a day on the road. So let me just continue my comments. So we see the disgraceful performance of the so-called legal profession in Sierra Leone. And I can speak with authority with respect to the condemnation of the profession because I am part of that profession there. Where nobility matters, where ethics matters, where integrity matters, where virtue matters, all of which are being lost in this Sierra Leone. We cannot sit and accept rubbish as the standard, mediocrity as the standard. Some of us should be able to speak out and speak out loudly and speak from the rooftop. Let them know, say, some of us who are members of this profession are ashamed. I, for one, Mohammed Shillon, who studied and practiced law in the most advanced country in the world, with one of the most complicated legal things, who stands second to nobody in Sierra Leone, can say, I'm ashamed of the performance of a profession back home. You know? For inject national politics into the operation of a profession that is supposed to be the guardian of human rights, civil rights, constitutional rights, without reduce that responsibility to nothing or nothingness. All in the name of what? It was foreseeable when the political parties there, and these are the two political parties there, what we get such high expectation of. When they begin put candidates for run for the presidency of the Bar Association, you knew right there that the bad signs. And somebody need for call in, the party operatives them, or operatives them, please call in and tell we, what is this redeeming social value in attaching political symbols to candidates them for the Bar Association? What's not the redeeming social value? Maybe I missed that. You know, why was it necessary for APC and SAPP for put candidates them up for run for the presidency of the Bar Association? And I can even venture, I mean, among the three people them who ran, Let me not even get to the result as yet. Somebody did not call we and ask we before. Say, who were we going to recommend? We say, no. Or rather than kind of now show, let them tell what they stand for. Then we'll not go, we'll not put with thumb on the scale. A very able lawyer by the name of Mara, who has proven himself in every respect and has demonstrated without question his upholding of the values of the profession, ran. And they want you and me for belief say he only got 15 votes. If indeed only 15 lawyers vote for Mr. Mara, then Sierra Leone deserves any adverse consequences in its legal setup what happened to him. But I don't believe it. I don't believe Mr. Mara had 15. So it tells you how we are not serious about really putting serious people with vision, in position of responsibilities. So listen, let the Bar Association come, and this is one time with all the Boku lawyer working in Sierra Leone. It's time. Then they listen to some of the shows there. When I hear any lawyer call it in any of the shows, them APC lawyer or SAPP lawyer for can't tell we watching at their own position. Now we did see Mr. First of all, it was very inappropriate and completely out of order, and in fact senseless to have had Mr. Ben Kelfala, as a conductor or part of conducting the election. He should not have been, and he should have known better. In office no call for that role there. In association with the profession and the organization of lawyers, no call say his office should play a major role. And even if that was offered to him, he should have declined it for prevent the appearance of not only impropriety, but of bias. Okay? This is what he should have done. He should not have even accept that offer there. But not only did he accept it, he was joyful, jubilant prior to the election of the officers then, with someone who ended up becoming the so-called winner. And look at the manner in which the election was conducted. Isn't that shameful? Ballot papers being thrown all over the place. And when you say another person had 23 votes out of over 1,000 or more people that we supposedly voted, then the other person get 15 votes. Then the other person who is least known had 80, 90% of the vote. Who are we fooling? Like Mr. Diambore said, who is fooling who? Is this what we wish Sierra Leone to have? I knew something was going to go wrong with the Bar Association. The first sign I had was when the Bar Association, under the presidency of a certain lady, who is not married to this former spokesperson of the president, okay? The first time she had that position, they make the Bar Association hold the meeting at the State House. That is a no-no. That should have never happened. The Bar Association should not be holding meetings at the State House at all. Then forget any independent venue. So I knew it was improper, because at the time that a meeting was held at the State House, in a tacit way, by implication, it was the Bar Association lending support to the government of the day, which is wrong. And I also knew, as a result of the relationship between Mr. Sandi, who was then the president's spokesperson, and in his new girlfriend, now his wife, you can see say there was some element of impropriety. So what? So we are in a steep decline of professional responsibility in that country there. A very steep decline. We're not the only go down, we go down fast. You know? So somebody needs to talk about this. And the blame, this is one time you know go blame, I don't care how it happened, you can't say the government of the day. This is the professionals, the legal profession. They couldn't go by themselves. What for set bright example, they're not do them. Then we expect performance, good performance from the judiciary. When are they all them people belong? When are they then go end? You know, anybody will care anything about Sierra Leone. If you care about Sierra Leone, you should be very disappointed with the outcome of the election of the Bar Association will just take place. If you care about the country. Now, if you care about political parties, way to a lot of una, mean more to una than the country, it's the country in well-being, then it's all right. If not so, you see them. But for those of us who have long risen above political parties and think say the country come first, damn any political party, APC, SLPP, C for seat, no matter. Nothing rises to the level of the importance of the country as far as people like me are concerned. Okay? Then you ought to be disappointed at the utter rubbish what would just take place, then call a Bar Association. And we'll go play one or two video. We just recently get an election in 2023. Okay, it will be, of course, it will soon be 1 year. Time runs very fast. Would the claim say the election was rigged? I'm not going to get into the merit of that or not. But we just about a year ago had an election. So all we learned from the election, the outcome of the election, now how for rig election, who can see that Bar Association election there and not be ashamed and not say it was rigged? It was being done in plain view. Why was it so important for engaging all the shenanigans then there? Why was it? Just for elected Bar Association president, who individually is a symbolic leader. Okay? For just portray the profession in a good light. And why was it so important for inject national politics into that? And why did APC follow suit? If SLPP then decide, say they want to put somebody where they represent SLPP, because first of all, it's senseless. Why would you want a president of the association where they represent a political party? It's to me, it's stupidity. It makes no sense. And if it does, please call in and argue with we and take issue with we and tell us why it's so important that somebody with a president of the Bar Association should belong or associate or affiliate with a political party or with the APC and the SLPP, because the other thing we don't see in the country now, una don't try for eliminate the other political parties then, which is another dangerous move in the country. So for the one who is glad about tripartite will not help Sierra Leone if we not lay the right foundation. It will not. Then small political parties should be involved. There is no if or but about it. Particularly as I've argued time and again, APC and SLPP are two sides of the same coin. Neither one is better than the other. Neither one. If you flip the coin, no matter which way, the value is the same. If SLPP come on power today, APC come on power, they are not going to provide any more effective and efficient leadership than this current government is showing. I can guarantee that. You don't have to be a genius or a rocket scientist to know that. Because we'll get the same rotating, rotten politicians then. The Alpha Khan types. All right, let me take some calls and then I'll get back to you. Hello, caller. Who's you to call from? And please state your position.
Yes, good evening again, Mr. Shilon and Mr. Jamboria. This is Fodi Mustafa from Leicester.
Hey, hello, Mr. Mustafa.
Yes,
Thanks for calling, sir. We appreciate you
thank
calling.
you again for another episode of this show. So you see, like how they say, Salon, we won't go before, but we want to continue doing the things that we have been doing and even getting deeper. But I don't know who shall we say would they go with this kind of mentality. Government, I dey tell you, I don't know if you don't know about this. Even market woman election, na Salon right now. You get the APC candidate, you get the SFP candidate. And any side, the government won't win. Not only this government, even the APC time them won't win. But it's getting worse. That's what I can tell you. Because it's pauper. They get one mentality. It must be pauper. We must win them. Whichever way. Me from the day, say last week I called, or 2 weeks ago when I talk about that, I don't be so disgusted with the fact that I already see clearly from people who open the mouth and talk, say, I'm APC, but I'm contesting, I'm SLP, I'm contesting. Now say, who say we go? Look at the Bar Association, how did they work in the African system? Then they are in South Africa, the former president Zuma, the one disqualify him. The lawyers, the Bar Association, they take them, they can't go, they say, no, we're not going to ban this man for stand. Because the ANC, they think say they eat away their votes. They allow them for go. But we they talk about we are Democrat. The president they parade around say, oh, I'm a Democrat. This is the rule of law, the rule of law. But you want whole thing, you know what? Another opinion. If Salon will get all the good opinions, that means we forget a way of how would they get water today. How would they get electricity? How would they address the housing issue? All the other problems with Salon get the healthcare. But no, they say we must do have this is a clear example now. The international community we don't see and say where we talk say them people are not having election, national election. This is an example. This now ordinary bar situation. That's why come also. Now on a pauper, they make for the first time they go turn 049 to 149. And the electoral commissioner then talk say the person he do a mistake but he don't sign. But what they not do, they for remove them from the counts. They not do a announce a back as they put them that number. So you see, we are not doing anything different. We are just getting deeper and deeper in the hole for underdevelopment, backwardness, and the rest. That's why me, I always talk about I not see myself how I would be SLP for APC. Because something the one I don't believe in, I cannot participate in that. I've strongly me why I grow up, the whole of the work experience during the EPC time. I know we talk here, but I know what I experienced. Because I'm a peace loving boy, I used for the leg for lie down under the mango tree, they read, they sleep during the day where I read and sleep, but that was interrupted several times. Because people then say they for must do have their own way. Until today, we don't vote how many times per election? 3 elections now or 4 elections now. But because we not get the way they mean other idea they for compete and make economically, we just go beyond. It directly related. When we are not sabi, we are not want for let other ideas that come onto the table, for let we see how we solve the problem. This they come to una again in the form of underdevelopment. I go there for Air Force. No, thank you.
Okay, but don't let the buzzer. Let me just lay it. If you get something, I will not mind for let you go beyond the buzzer because these are important topics. So if you hear the buzzer, don't feel pressured. If we think say you go too far, we'll go tell you say call back. So if you call again, fail
Okay.
at will or make you comment. We will control that
Okay.
if need be.
Okay. Now call back, right? Okay.
No, you can continue if you want to, or you can call back. Either way
Okay.
is fine.
Now I want just talk. I just want to talk small about the lady where they say na the bar association person now. Una be no Bubaki Jabi, where na be SLPP person, na girl picking na so. The Mr. Kwa, where na the first bar association president after Basita Michael. Now it is day na the prosecutor general bar. I don't know whose law get na the president office. Na the prosecute something like that. I don't know that legal term. Now na him succeed. Imagine. Now him from under tenure, the bar association has never challenged government. We commodity it out the Mrs. Swahilo. They try for make and say na swallow, but na Swahilo. Na no Mr. Jamboya go help me how for pronounce am well. Na Swahilo. Na him name. So now the same that lady I married to Keke Thomas, so we didn't marry. Where the election depend on turn.
Name Swallow. I think that's Swallow na the name. Swallow.
No, na so they write about the people who sabi na him name Swahilo.
Okay.
The real name.
All right.
Just some people away can be he change name somehow. But the one they wish sabi I'm using na him Swahilo. Na Southern name anyway.
Okay.
So now the same this lady I don't marry to Kekotoma. So in tenor, when they fight over election rules, how NEC broke the rules them over and over, the bar association did not say anything. And when they do this election, the bar association then go congratulate the government, the president. Yes, that's what happened during the bar. So now this is why the government they want to hold the bar, they want to hold everything, they want to hold the bar so that there's no challenge. But they go around the world saying we are in a democratic nation. I'll go stop, sir. Thank you very much.
Yeah. And before I take the next caller, just for further that, and that young lady, they will be the lead the bar, end up marrying Keke Thomas Sandy, who ended up becoming, now I understand he's been called to the bar, so he's a lawyer, and that's the contribution he brings to the profession for corrupt the system, and nobody should say anything about it. That is an outrage. Hello, caller. Tell us what side you call from and what you get for say.
Yeah, this is not concerned citizen. I call from New York.
Thank you, concerned citizen.
Okay.
Thanks for listening. Yes, sir.
Me own contribution. I just for relate your presentation with the people where they blame with man for how they go. Because imagine this one now with the apple, so with man already. Every single get election. With man already fetch the commodity. Bar association again, fetch the commodity rigging. How you go see the local people waiting at the street? They are reminded, they go say, okay, I vote for this honorable, I vote for this president, there's something not come out fine. When they behave now, I say, oh, they're not professional. If the one the way we feel say that in the control with legal system, they not do the right thing. Waiting there for be right in that country. For a very long time, yes, we know say the judiciary it don't portray. For a very long time. Yes. But at least for the try now ways they're waiting for the try for fix the image of the judiciary. But they're not doing. Then you go see where this fell back by leadership. With man then give we power, then tie we are now back. With man they beg we follow we respect each other. With man they don't talk say how for respect we don't come in black, you don't come in black, we vote you in. How for respect, how for give the honor. He said no, he said okay now. America say okay. If you treat you people and fine, and also the budget the way they write, if you use that money they proper, no corruption, would they give now would they award you now 500 million back. Still down the back, with man they pay we, follow behave well. Follow move country proper. We still fell back. Now the most disgraceful thing at the world for a person, somebody of different race or different nationality, for can't tell you say, hey, but how they treat you person, no good. Try to make things fair. We still fell back that way. Then where they watch so they say nothing, move, go ahead. Then they come on again and car, hey, wait man, then give it power, then try we are now back. They forget say that after they do the wrong way. When you ask this Sierra Leone and election, anything can happen, what's not for you win. How you go able to do the right thing if you get the power the wrong way? There's no way. Because you don't even believe that the people and vote you. So even if the people and say no, this the promise you been given, you not fulfill, and now if you resign, like how they see Europe, civilized nation, if he promise, he not fulfill, they resign immediately. They say no, I don't win, because say no to the people and vote you. So you get for do any kind of talent and die back, they kill it. You don't care. But this is pathetic. So now the one that we can call and blame with man, where they fall out, the leader, they would then fail. They say, oh, now it's man. But now would that open door for them? Now because if we treat ourselves good, with man go relax small. For very long time from the Tollgate independent, they talk to you and treat people and fine. You might write this, that. All that and I make it can. Now the doorstep. Still we fail. They say, okay, now if we do all them good here, we still a good 500 million. Still we fell back. So I know the way forward, trust me, we not talk no more. Just like how the part talk yonder. Hello, we dey far for us. I mean contribution on this for now.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Make a quick comment, then I will go back to my co-host. For further what this gentleman just say, which in plain view we know that, which man and they pay we for let we act responsibly. These are facts. With Parliament, the renovation what the Parliament to go through. Now the European Union give we money, not to we safe even, we not even feel the need, say we need for expand them, for modernize them. So they build them in the 50s. Now the European, the white people, and they look pain and say, hey, but this thing, don't hold it, don't tear. Una update them. Una put escalator, una make more bathrooms, una do this, una do that. Wait man, the very wait man, the way some of them with people where I always take issue with. What we grab with sell ourselves in slavery, they would blame wait man for slavery. Wait man not can capture people them by force and care them go now we sell them. These are some of the truth for the talk. This selfishness there in we, it's about time for it to stop. We not get sensitivity for each other.
Today, Mr. Shillon.
I agree with that. I agree with that selling ourselves in a modern way. Okay, we not get sensitivity. Now, even the very rich man, like where they talk about so, if they're not there, if they're not the try for control with behavior, can you imagine what will be happening to us? If which man and not be interfere, we hear it some of what they talk about sovereignty. I don't know if they know what that means. Is it sovereignty to oppress each other, to steal national fortune? Sovereignty for look the other way when you're doing wrong? If which will we be if which man are not there for slow it down, we then corrupt and ill motives they have depend. The one that they talk about sovereignty. We will get election. Now, which man and they give we money for conduct we on election? How irresponsible can we be? Okay. And it's about time we begin for look. And why they say we at the top of Sierra Leone, because some African countries are beginning to go the other direction. You take countries like Kenya, you take Tanzania, you take Rwanda. You could see, so then they try to, and look, we get 17 tribes in Sierra Leone. Kenya get 5 more tribes than we, but they make it a policy for how for coexist peacefully and not use tribalism. as a weapon, as a political weapon, because it leads to nothing but civil war or some terrible things. So when this gentleman is talking about which man, where are we going to be? Don't, I can imagine how which people are in frustration sometimes. Behind we back, when they talk to themselves, they must be saying, my God, what's wrong with them people here? Like Mr. Jamboria make a cite something, I think that's some biblical site. But Bob Marley even say, in the midst of thirsty, or in the midst of thirst,
In the abundance of water.
in the abundance of water,
It's only the
the
fool
fool,
who is thirsty.
the fool is thirsty. You got that right. And they are with their abundance. So that speaks clearly about we. We can't conduct an election from our own pocket. We can't collect enough taxes for runway country. We can't do anything right. So don't tell me about white people then. Now we're in control of our own destiny. And when something go wrong, let's be willing to admit it, say that because we're stupid. And if the white man, you go sit on a conference table, he outmaneuver you, not tell me say you are as educated as he is, because if you are, he not going to outmaneuver you. So admit the fact that not because it's smarter or more educated. It's about time we begin for when Iran, they negotiate with the United States about the nuclear development. The Iranians, with all the conferences where they get, they were matching wheat to wheat, meaning when the Americans then get the best and the brightest in nuclear science, in political science, and this and that, the Iranian had equally well-educated Harvard, Yale, Columbia, Oxford educated Iranian were sitting on the other side of the table. So the American didn't have any intellectual advantage over them. They knew just as well and just as much. So Salon man, we education and we much a day. Performance-wise, we don't have it. I almost, sometimes you feel like indicting the entire intellectual group. We book.
I don't feel like I always indict them, Mr. Shillon. I always indict my colleagues. We are supposed to be doing better. We're supposed to be doing better. Sierra Leone has a population less than half Lagos City in Nigeria.
Oh, less than half? Lagos is 30 million, Sierra Leone is 7 million.
Less than half.
1/4.
It's less than half because 15 million is half of the population.
Oh, no, I agree with you.
15 million. We are less than 8 million people.
Yes.
That figure that you see being given is a political figure because we get bigger mentality. They use those figures to go and beg from European Union, from IMF, etc. If you take out correct statistics of Sierra Leone today, I'm sure we are not even 7 million.
I agree with you. I share that view.
I want to believe that over 40% of Sierra Leone's population is resident in the western area.
I believe that also.
The intellectuals, especially those who should maintain ethics in society, look how then they behave. Then they go sentence people and for go prison. They should be in prison, these lawyers. Because ethical misbehavior is worse than any misbehavior in society. What happened yesterday was an ethical misbehavior. And the other fact is, let us begin to look at this situation logically. Take the removal of the Speaker of Parliament and his replacement. Come to the Bar Association. Link it with the so-called constitutional review. Then you'll see the trend we are going towards. May God help Sierra Leone. Something is not auguring well in Sierra Leone. Something is not auguring well. We are crying democracy, democracy, democracy. But all of us believe in impunity, Mr. Shillon. Not to say I do am out of context too. I did it purposely but see why the Bar Association they misbehave. It has been overtaken by the social virus of impunity. It has been overtaken by that. Our trend, our social internet is infested with a virus called impunity. And where there is impunity, there is only autocracy. There is no democracy. So stop talking about democracy. No fix first what we need for fixing inside we heads them. The problem of Sierra Leone is in our heads, not in the institutions. Institutions are made of people. People are minds. If the minds don't function well, those institutions don't function. Separation of powers. Do we have it in Sierra Leone? No. Talking about separation of powers, is it only between the three arms of government? No. Even within the arms of the government, like in the executive, there should be a separation of powers between the political administration and the, the service administration itself, because the service administration is a permanent administration. It is there to serve the country, not the politicians. But today, we have reduced the service administration into a political clown. They are just there to be seen. A minister, no deal. When minister come, we take decision, they'll go act on this. That's how moribund we have become. That's how much we have deteriorated. Come to countries that are organized. The mayor of my municipality has nothing to do with the day-to-day administration of the municipality. It is done by the chief administrator and all the other employees. The mayor is only there to supervise and ensure that the policies are done as they should. The councillor, an elected councillor in the municipality, has nothing to do with the day-to-day administration of the council. You go to meetings, you make your policies, they are implemented. If they are not, at next meeting, you ask a question, there will be somebody to answer why it has not been implemented. What caused the delay? But not really go supervise, you know that na me. Hey, the part don't come. All man begin to team up like robots, they look at. This is how we have deteriorated. Because the virus impunity don't take over with society, Mr. Shilon. It don't make such that now we don't even know what is what. If a bar association can go and hold meetings at State House, then why are they bar association? Doesn't the judiciary have a place for them to hold a meeting? State House is an executive office. It's not a judicial office. You see, we don't reduce ourselves from being what we used to be to worse than idiots. Maybe we are even morons in Sierra Leone now. And we claim to be what we are because we think so. They wear junks clothes, then they pass, ride second-hand motor car, they pass, build Benos them, paint out with like rainbow color. We say we don't make progress. Progress is not made by physical things. Progress is a sustainable thing. What you are doing now, how generations yet unborn will come to inherit it and build on it. So almost owe you bill, almost close you well. When you don't conduct election, you don't corrupt them, you go load in a plane, they show you mama. Say your mama is going to your Harvard ceremony. It's the highest level of idiocy. And we need to be saying it as it is. The white man, they look with and they laugh. They know who we are. When I was elected councillor in Norway, there were assumptions I had. Somebody called me and showed me certain things. They know exactly who we are. They know to the last mineral we have in Sierra Leone. They know. They want to assist us, but we are refusing because we still get that virus of impunity in our head. Every day, we dey go from bad to worse, worse to worst. Every day. They never fit for manage an election situation wey go lead to crisis when they go create a new one. What is really wrong with us in Sierra Leone? What is wrong with us? What if the Bar Association split into splinter groups? How do you expect the judiciary of Sierra Leone to function? And that's exactly what is going to happen from now on. One day you say they don't take gun, go shoot one judge or magistrate in a court. Very soon. For it's what is called self-sabotage in psychology. Self-sabotage. Now they blame Whitman. Why Whitman not stop India for develop? India had the worst form of colonialism. The book Animal Farm, written by George Orwell, is talking about India. How badly the Indians were treated, and the Indians started revolting. George Orwell, a British man, grew up in India. He studied the society and wrote about the society. India gets population crisis, but look at them today. They are a stable economy, and people are saying it's the biggest democracy on earth.
It is.
Malaysia in 1961 was worse than Sierra Leone. Look at them today. Guinea next up to 1984 was worse than Sierra Leone. Look at them today. Now, let's come to a very practical example. The Gas Consolidated used to own Sierra Leone Selection Trust mining diamonds in Sierra Leone. The same De Beers Consolidated is the company mining diamonds in Botswana. In 1971, Sierra Leone started negotiating with SLST and Delco for more money so that there will be money to run the country. That thing was dragged on to 75 and this company is closed. The same De Beers Consolidated negotiated with the government of Botswana. The government of Botswana is getting 50% of the profit from every diamond. And what did they do? They take the money from the profits and put it in a sovereign fund they call the Pula Fund. Pula means rain in their language. Botswana is close to this Kalahari Desert. It's a semi-arid country. That fund is developing Botswana. It's one of the most stable countries in Africa. And look at Sierra Leone, one of the most unstable countries in Africa, a country that is supposed to be the richest in Africa. Minus our minerals, we have a lot of potentials for us to galvanize into wealth creation. But because the intellectuals are so conceited, they are concerned only about themselves. Now they've deteriorated into idiots fighting like baboons at elections. Nami say, Boydalo. Oto VOS Nami say. Nami, Boydalo, say that. If you don't like me, I don't care. But Sierra Leone will not continue this way. Sierra Leone should not continue this way. It's time we begin to call you guys out. We need ethics. We need ethics in Sierra Leone. We need ethics in Sierra Leone. It's only ethics that can take off the impunity virus. We have to inject ethics into the society. And it has to begin with 1, the politicians, 2, the intellectuals. Then the masses will follow. Because if they go behave so at elections, then when they call open election, people then go fair to send tear gas and bullet, they go kill them. It's highly justifiable. If a government in power can involve in rigging the elections of a bar association, will lead to fight amongst people that are supposed to be intellectuals, then there is open election and people fight. They have no right, no moral authority to arrest anyone for fighting at that time. Because what is good for the goose has to be good for the gander. And according to our Constitution, Chapter 2, sovereignty belongs to the people. If you, the leader who was elected to uphold that sovereignty, is not upholding it, then don't question the people if they don't uphold it. Because they say example is always better than precepts. And that's what we have seen in this last by-election. They are not the best examples. They are the law, but they are not the best example. So they are not better. If we can put it in simple terms. Shame on Unabo. Una Thailand for behave. Una all on training. I mean, say, anything I cancel alone, arrest me, go lock me up at Demba Road. Idiots. Go ahead, sir.
Okay, sir. So, okay, I will take some calls, but I'll just make a few comments again. To buttress or for add to that comment today, I see by one of the VOS shows, particularly one by Mr. Kagbo, wait and say a former minister will voice objection. Well, no, say me, I've always taken the position that the power of the police to just arbitrarily invite, then use the word invite. For me, I use the word order, because an invitation gives you the invitee the option of accepting the invitation or rejecting it by non-performance. You know what tell me, say you invite me, then if I say I not get the option for say I not the come, then it will lead to my arrest, not to invitation. And so that phrase they say wouldn't use back home, say the CID don't invite people them. We need to knock off that, because it's a misleading thing. And first of all, whose democracy will forgive the police such power for override people their rights, for just call you and say they want to talk to you because of a freedom of speech statement where you make, that the police, who are not trained in constitutional law, they ain't going to be the determinant of whether you should have made that speech or not. Otherwise, they can call you, can delay you and detain you at the CID. Don't we see something wrong with a system like that? How long should that be allowed to go on? It had to go on from Albert Maga in term to Shaka Stephen in term, where they give the police this power, arbitrary, extrajudicial power, for just go arrest people, and because the chief of police or some senior officer at the police feel say you don't say something what the government not go like. Let me go on a good example. When the current William, I try to think of the current, I know him first name William, of Kenya, when he kind of power, go back and check Google in speech. It addressed the police then specifically. He said, look, una now for the opposition, now for we, now the government, now for the ordinary people. The police now wanna roll down there for protect we, the government, for protect the opposition, for protect the ordinary man. Una job now for protect we all. Una job not for protect the government. Now for maintain law and order. Wherever there is a breakdown or there is an attempt to create a breakdown of law and order. He addressed them. He says, so we, the government, don't need una help for go arrest opposition person. Let it be because that person, if they arrest her, not for political purpose. When are we going to get to that? That kind of a thinking, thought process there. Instead of using the police for harassment.
When we get rid of the virus, sir.
You see, instead of so when they go arrest this minister, the former minister, but you see, this former minister, when I be APC minister, You see, the chicken, the whole thing is coming back to roost because what did happen? Then sit down there with them, they make all them bad laws there. They not control the power. Then they also give the power to police, this and that. You see, now what the law is being used against them, but people like we the holla say, enough for be so. And I say it for be, enough for be so. Why wouldn't a person in a constitutionally governed country not for be able for just speak and not threaten anybody? Although in statement we make to empathy, me not agree with and that's the proper solution, but me not see how we violate the law or for lead to in detention. So we for speak out. When Camaremba was detained indefinitely, even when judges the one give and bail, there was some hidden hands. What would prevent that? The Bar Association should have risen up and protest that. Judges should have resented that. No judge should allow himself to be overridden by a political person. It hurts the country. You operate on a different rule from a politician. If a person cannot court, is entitled to bail, it meets all the factors or the requirement for be granted bail, granting bail. You don't have to be politically correct. You see, if we want to change the country, these are the practices that we get for put in place. But APC, with all the big talk, then sit up, then see Camaremba being railroaded, being treated unjustly. Not a single one of them speak on behalf of that man. Even though they know, say, the system was being abused, and that empowerment day, where you give the court for abuse people and right, then go produce and empower you, no matter of time. Where was the Bar Association? Okay? Where was APC, the opposition? Now they're hung up on Tripartite. Would you see there some Western area personally criticize the American ambassador? And that's another thing that defies common sense. This anticipation that the Tripartite will solve a problem, it is not going to solve our problem. It will not. Because the formula for solve a problem would ignore and want a quick fix. If you get a motor car where the starter faulty, where the alternator faulty, where the bearings them faulty, where get so many faults, yeah, you can still get it running. But if you want that motor car to perform efficiently, you have to change all the engine and what does name. So we know we get a system where we want quick fix, where we don't ruin them. You see? We don't ruin the system. APC, do their own job. I always cite the Ernest Koroma and Sam Sumana case. Me not get no interest in it, but it does in the name of law. When Ernest Koroma grabbed saying the fire Sam Sumana, the bar associations should have stood up against it. The opposition, before take position against that, say, all right. Because once you allow that for prevail, you empower the wrongdoer. They go use that same power there against you. So these are some of the things we talk about. So why is it that in this day and age, we can't point with a finger at one institution where we try to develop? Well, every institution where we inherit from the white man would not destroy them, will continue to destroy them. You know? Then we want brag about going to Harvard, going to Yale, going to Oxford. What is that all about?
Mr. Shillon.
Yeah.
If I can come in with that, sir.
Yes, sir. You're quite welcome. You're quite welcome. Oh, may I hold
going
you back?
To this institute.
Please hold tight. Keep your thought. Let me don't keep them callers here. I forget about them. I get carried away.
Okay.
Hello, caller. Hello, caller. Please tell us who side to call from. What do you get for say? Hello, caller.
Yes. Excuse me. Good afternoon, gentlemen. Good afternoon. You're doing a fantastic
Hello, Ms.
job.
Fadima. Good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
This is Fadima. Hello, VOS family.
Yes.
I can hear your frustration, especially you as a member of the court, as a honorable man of the court. You see all the foolishness unfolding in the country.
Yeah.
And then we ask ourselves the question, how do we move forward from all this foolishness? And I mean, to me, it was a rerun for me. I don't know if you remember 2018, the Jackson versus Caddy Davis and Josephine Jackson thing, where they go toss boxes, throw away the boxes. But this time, now the man them in do them about the way, not treat about them where we say them they don't know any better, they just use them. Then yesterday we see unfold in front of our eyes, we on judiciary members, officers of the court of law, with of all the constitution, of all the judiciary system for make sure say it is function and work right for such. Oh, hey, when you see this, then you say, what's in? I mean, what else? What else? It's like you just to give up, put the towel and throw the towel, because these are the people they don't even trust themselves. So people will go able to go speak up for such. That's why they are so corrupt. Most of them are corrupt. You get good ones among them. Don't get me wrong. But a whole bunch of them, I remember you and Kutubu, Mr. Kutubu, when I've been doing a show talking about the judiciary, that they split in the middle, APC lawyer there, the judiciary is, when down they go, nothing is been done, nothing moves, because it's all politics. It's all politics. And it is so sad. These people are supposed to interpret with constitution. They're supposed to uphold the democracy in the court. We'll go to them for fix the problem. But these are the people displaying ignorance, displaying foolishness, displaying. It is so. He asked for take. He asked for take. You know, when them fella been calm, I've been getting hope. As a young guy, maybe it gets, you know, kind of like change go kind of a little bit. But you hear them chanting his name, say shame on him, allowing this stuff to happen. Ballot paper that are gone on the videos, and they were still counting ballots and calling names. How can you justify their results today? How can we justify such results? And they call themselves officers of the law. How can I don't understand how people think. I don't understand what you the land book for. I don't understand. I see them Kelfala, they're not playing it. They can't take award in a Harvard. In the world that I went to Harvard, but you don't behave like a Harvard graduate. Like, because that's the top of the line America education and system. But you go there, you sit in the classroom for learn bright and better things, for go implement in your country, for help build your country. But yet these people are displaying such stupidness and waiting and concept. It's sad. And then another video that came forth that I saw. It just reminded me still of that Constitution 1105. The common denominator, Mrs. Fatima Bio, dancing and say we talk and we do about Josephine Jackson. Yesterday they dance say we don't win. It just comes at the public, they show it and say, this is my candidate and my candidate don't win, we don't win. How would you look at it? Somebody asked the question on one of the forums, say, why then go do an academy? I say, why not academy? Academy is part of Sierra Leone. It is not where they do it, it's not the location. It is the action and the behavior of these officers of the court. Then we say free and fair, democracy. A caller say, a concerned caller from New York talk of that we blame the white people for everything, but we cannot take care of ourselves. We cannot look out for ourselves. We cannot do the right thing. So then people are going to continue for their overweight because they don't invest in we. They're citizens, their money, then get on our overweight. So they want to make sure say it go right. Partnership development. But it is us, we people. And like Mr. Jarod, I'm going to say, rightfully in the head, the problem of the blockage is in our head. Until we unclog ourselves, until we go into self-reflection. Until we try for do unto others as we like others to do unto us, we are doomed. I'm sorry to say, the struggle continues. We're trying to be hopeful. These are officers of the law, for goodness sake, and I can feel your frustration, Mr. Shilon. There's such behavior. They demonstrate unprofessionalism. Everything is waiting and call. Then we fortunately go put on TikTok. He don't care. That is unacceptable. But then we, the people there, will they take anything? Will they be anything okay for we? So how they meet we, and so then they treat we. Are you well close go out, John, so then they give it for us. And that's how I say. But you all are doing a fantastic job for analyzers. It's so shameful. Another guy say in one of the forums, the social media forums, he said his friend from Liberia call him, your people are on it again, or what's wrong with your lawyers now? It is so sad. It's like every week we get something. It's like the chickens are coming on the root of the
we're not in Babu Kabudu.
Let me not take on a time and do not go to callers, but this is how I felt. I feel the pain.
Adima, how they do?
Thank you so much, Ms. Fadima. Thank you. We always appreciate your contribution.
Yes, sir.
Let me take another call. Hello, caller. Please tell us where you call from and what's on your mind.
Yes, Nami again, Food Mustafa.
Okay, Mr. Mustafa.
I just want.
Thanks for calling back.
Like when they talk about how we move forward for now, we come up and name problem there. This is not because the government or the executive that they get most powers. Now in Kenya, they make a sacrifice in 2010, something like that. They reform their constitution. Which people they say, if this country move forward, give less power to the president, to the other people challenge the president. Now they make that sacrifice. The APC tried on this form, and because why I say so, the people that will make the reforms them, because the APC not agree, and I mean they not sign up to that. That will give them kudos for that because they tried. But now the people that will be there outside, we now this. I don't know if they hear me.
Yeah, we hear you. You about we?
Okay, yeah. Because the people who they on this current government, them they are against it. Oh, them people they not accept the resolutions. Now they 6 years they need power. They know they do anything about that. And the worst is the resolution, the way they want it, they are not much different from what the APC will accept. So now where somebody want to reform these laws for we all come up, but because even this bar association, if you see now because the government want to control of it, now make the get a So they the government for don't do, they do like what the APC do. They not put hand by resolutions. Let them left people that we not get political hands them, make them do the new rules them for let come up and this. In Kenya, where they don't reform that constitution, where they don't review them, even their security for the president, they're not like the one where they say I am rushed. They say, and they kill Tulungu them. What did they do? Where they elect a new president, like this president will come out, Uhuru. The security just simply come out behind Uhuru, that they get private security. Then they go to map behind Ruto. You see how institutions then work?
Yep.
That is how even the judiciary, the president tried to make it ban the other guy for Ruto for contest. Able. Even the case where I came on a court, this election will pass. The one who go for Raila, the lady will stand before on the judiciary. And a husband, and they represent right now. Now, so he publicly disgraced his own husband for how the kids say, I hear say, so they going knock out proof. They drove off the same people, they drove in the same car, they went home. The husband and wife. After the husband no can lose the case in front of the wife. And my second wife, this Naira can talk say, this within the proof come up all of this inside them problem there. So from this problem there, that means we will get somebody we want sacrifice in comfort, like the president. He say, make we reform the law there independently. No, how to come out there, we not get no resolution what they put before. They will find people there where they can put this constitution in a way that we get people with alternative ideas for challenge government position on all other things that they do for law good before. I will left my hand for this evening. Thank you very much, guys.
All right, Mr. Mustafa, thank you so much. We appreciate you.
Yes,
One more. Let me take one more call. Hello, caller. Who's side you call from? One more. Let me take one more call. Hello, caller. Please turn your system down. It echo.
Oh, okay. Okay, sure. All right. Yeah, got it. Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Calling for Washington.
All right, sir.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Washington.
Welcome.
Yes, sir. So thank you for the show. I've watched everything, and I believe think Fala for resign in position, or the president for replacement, like he replaced the the energy minister. The reason why they say this, last week we really talk about where the chief minister say mosques and churches, other institutions, and they pay lights to ETA, right? So before the chief minister thought that, I believe it be on point. But if the ACC commissioner be doing job, now for them first shed light on the issues and before the chief minister come up with it. But they're not doing job. Okay. And I wonder waiting that they pay all the investigators in the ACC, why did they pay them? You see, so the need for, if they pay them, but they didn't do their job until the chief minister can say, well, now this they go on. The people that, okay, say bring evidence, which I believe say for bring evidence, which I believe say it must get evidence before it says something like that. Well, if the ACC commissioner be doing job, now if they don't bring indictments or hold their institutions accountable, they will know what to do all this finger pointing. Then, apart from that, there's a lot of cases that go on. They're not even investigate cases that, like Emerson Bokari said, the ACC system, even from the APC days, they don't ever catch cockroach. They only catch the opposition members. ACC only work for the opposition. With SLPP, they go after APC. APC, they go after SLP. So these trends get for stop. And one way I believe we can stop this, we, the independent-minded Sierra Leoneans, then form think tank organizations over the right publish things them where they go on at the key institutions like Waterkey, ETSA, and other places or shed lights, unravel the corruption. For the corruption, unravel us. So, we really need alternative organization to the Sierra Leone Bar Association. Maybe if that be the case, where the Sierra Leone Bar Association corrupts, the decent-minded jurists are not good. They go to the other areas and other organizations that were much more serene and clean. They will not get all this fighting where they go. That's what I have to say. Thank you so much.
We greatly appreciate you calling, sir. Thanks for the contribution. Mr. Jamborea, let me take one more call. I'm so sorry. One more call. I'm sorry, sir. Hello, caller. Hello, caller. Where you call from?
Hello, Mr. Shilom. This is now Umaru the call.
Hello, Mr. Umar. Thanks for calling.
Okay. Okay. Anyway, I tell you, thank you for the program. And I may not want for call because I don't see as in that much important program. But actually, I see one, two callers call. You see, most of the time when something happen, we shift the goalpost. The problem when it kind in terms of that bar association or any other thing for do with the law division of that country, the system itself now faulty, you know, and most of the time when it happened, you see if in the APC in power, the SFPP they take credit. If the SFPP in power, and the APC they take credit. Now, let anybody put in hand up. It tell me one office in that country during the time of APC, when the APC government not involved. Let them one or let somebody call me. It tell me one office in that country today where the SLPP in power not involved, where they not try for involve and infiltrate that particular one. Let the person tell me. We problem in that country, people are even the people not sincere. You know. Then again, people they say this political business. One thing we serve with the people that we get a problem in that country, and then we all guilty. Mr. Shilom, you is in that studio, you guilty. Mr. Jamboro is guilty. We were the listener guilty. Because why? When we see certain people stand for position and we feel say they connect with some people, we tell now we serve they say now political party puts them. Not a political party puts them. The only thing yes, we all know say the political party they don't infiltrate into that particular bar association they try for influence that association. But the people who stand not to any political party appoint them. Yes, one way or the other, Salona is a very small country, everybody can get connection one way or the other. But not to political party put them. So now we try for debunk that for unless somebody counts a particular proof where it proves say this one is stand on behalf of a particular political party. Me not they support any party. Me I just talk the way I see them. Nobody know they come with proof say this not a political party support this, not to a political party support this. With problem if we want for reform. Let us be sincere to ourselves as Sierra Leone'S, and we call things like IED. But believe me, like the bulldozer, where the APC guy go talk about this, he go sit down there, the guy they talk, he go comment nice, he go fix in the Judas or Nadoro and in the Jesus. But we see that they come again, we see them kind of the same problem. Now we problem that we face. Thank you very much.
Okay, Mr. Omar, let me just touch on that. Now, the evidence is clear. Then two political parties then put up candidates. No question about it. To the point of even the First Lady was rejoiceful when the young candidate win. This is not by-election. This is not professional election. First Lady not for the dance to that win. He get it right, but First Lady not for being involved here at all. I mean, we see how they happen before with very high. The question we may get for ask, what does it benefit a political party if we get candidates in a professional organization? It's not a professional organization where people have to come and run for the position based upon their knowledge and waiting and plan for how to improve the system. That's all. You're not going to belong to APC, you're not going to belong to SFPP. But you get two women candidates, one of whom openly represented the SFPP, the other. So, Mr. Omar, you're wrong there. You know? And we get for call the situation as we see them. Because this thing about where APC can, listen, but that's what we're complaining about. So, should we just accept it as it is? Nobody know for correct the system? Now we assume, say, APC be they do that. Where SFPP come? The reason we make them pull APC, now where SFPP claims say they go correct all the misdeeds of APC. Now you make the people and say, okay, let's try SAPP. So SAPP will kind of, what they begin to do the same thing, then they begin to say, oh, well, APC, it's not acceptable for let bad deeds then go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. It has to stop. That would say. So we not run this show so we could justify people in bad action. No. Well, you be broke me also another way I go out of town. So me say I go broke you also. No, not what I would preach. What the preach say, breaking into people's houses is wrong. And no matter what I ask you to break into, if they not give you permission. The Bar Association not get no business. Forget the image that then they promote politics. This is not a professional organization, just the way you get profession of engineers, profession of medical doctors. That's all it should be. How to improve the medical system. When I meet, when I talk about what's lacking in the country, what I go propose to the government to find a doctor, how to improve the medical situation. Now that a professional association for therefore. The lawyers then, we system terrible. We want somebody to go advocate. We will talk about how they go improve the system, how they go deliver justice, how case they not go take 10 years in a court, 5 years in a court. That's what, for be an APC thing or SAPP thing. This is all we're saying. So how we don't manage to the Bar Association begin all meeting at the State House? The girlfriend of the spokesman at the State House, be the head of the Bar Association. Then now you don't marry the spokesman at the Bar Association. Then now they have a spokesman and say not to be lawyer before, but now you don't become lawyer. This is we just corrupt the system. We not to build the system, and anything we go down. We're not to point one direction. We'll say we improve. This is the point now. We are concerned. It's not sustainable. If we go with that trend, we'll not try for improve and stop this decay. I mean, it will affect unborn generations them very badly. Then we'll begin blame the witch man. Mr. Jamboria talk about Botswana. Botswana, then like we. They get minerals, they get diamonds, baku diamonds. You hear what Mr. Jamboria say? And they get 50%. We first lady complain say we get 3%. Now we get less than 3%. Botswana they brag and the economy. In fact, we get a video. I wish I can able to find that video there. When Botswana, why can't we go to Botswana if we get serious leadership and ask them how want they do? Send on the people for teach we how to negotiate. We just can't grab and say, oh, we get lawyer them. We say we get lawyer. No. We get lawyer they won't know what they do. Not only people that will get certificate in the world and call themselves lawyer. So nothing wrong in seeking knowledge from others. Botswana, if then they get 50%, we they get less than 3%. That's common sense. Bring them in, ask them, share on ideas with we. At the same companies when they operate in Australia or around the world, how will they manage to get 50%? Well, we know they get 50%. The very Botswana per meat, just cow meat, then they earn billions of dollars in exporting meat, not a mineral. We don't talk about agricultural product. Just meat can be part of it, but at the dairy aspect of agriculture. But just Botswana, just exporting of meat, cow meat, then they earn billions. Who would they earn 2-3 million per iron ore, gold, diamond, bauxite, all combined, would also get 2-3 million. Now, so it's not, there's something wrong. Oh, we have to talk about it. We just can't keep, there is no justification. This by election, this people in election, there is no excuse for that rubbish that will see take place. And nobody for excuse that. Politics not for find its way. No political party, if they people don't get professional standard and value and ethics, they're not for even allow politics to get any sway on who that for be the president of the Bar Association. They never even allow that. So now I made a call on the Bar Association. They can go to court, make use of the court, attack the legality of the election. Una use una creativity for attacking, not accept the presidency of the Bar Association. When una know say openly, there's ample evidence, video evidence, when I can show the Supreme Court, if not they get what you would call original jurisdiction for them kind of a dispute there, or whether or not the High Court. Take the matter to court. That's what the courts are for. Not worry about whether they go rule this way, that way. Let the record be set. If the courts want to make a fool of themselves, they are welcome to do so. If they want to make a ridicule of themselves, they are welcome to do so. But we, who are the lawyer, they want to do what is right. Take the matter to court. Now that will be the tell APC. When I say when I want evidence, when I know supposed for, the law say you get 7 days. Preserve your right to go to court, file something, and then tell the court, say, we'll not get this evidence because it has not been given to us, but we'll at least comply with the deadline we want to get. We will not get the option, when the law say you get 7 days for file something, you not get the option for say, well, I not file, because you get for file, let the court know, say, oh, would they file this objection? Would they file this motion? But we not get, which we not say we'll forget as evidence, but because since every day we don't want to let the deadline run, we are filing. So you know, we really got to take things seriously. But this cannot continue. This kind of destruction of every governmental institution. Again, Ben Kerfala should be ashamed of himself in conduct not becoming of the office he holds, in conduct not becoming of the degrees that we get from the institutions. You know, I mean, it's just they're making a ridicule out of the system. They're not even this time. In fact, you see open disregard, open disrespect for the people of Sierra Leone. I mean, people like Ben don't care. They figure saying that we get power. We can celebrate for victory before the election. Then we can conduct the election. Then we can block bridges. Then some people don't go enter the town of Kenema. And look at the economic aspect of the deprivation of Kenema, the economic benefit. If all these people had gone to Kenema, they would have spent money. Then go buy petrol in gas stations. Then go stop in hotels. Then go. All and the Kenema was deprived of that. Now that way they will begin to think. All because of narrow-mindedness, you know? So we need for change the political system, or the way we even elect the two political parties and they get what you want to call flag bearer. There shouldn't be any such thing as a flag bearer for run for the presidency. We want to conduct a nationwide election for the nomination of who should run for a party. Let everybody run. Then that party, they go through democratic means. When I put out this person, say, now in the run, not to like when an Escoroma appoint, they just pinpoint Samura Kamara for be the flag bearer. Enough for be so. That's a terrible system. Now with the SFP people and the vex say, President Bio, they try for make Senge flag bearer and all that stuff there. Enough for be so. No president should be able to make somebody the flag bearer. We even see how President Kaba, with much regard to him, where President Kaba want let even, I mean, when Berwa want let President Kaba put him in thumb on the scale for Bakam, President Kaba said, I'll stay out of it. Okay? The small political parties, they should survive because they maintain the balance of power in our country. Do not allow APC and SFPP to be the sole bearers. That's why I don't agree with the Tripartite, because the small political parties do not get representation. If you allow these two parties for just be the parties that want to speak for the people, Sierra Leone is doomed. Or will never see the light of day. I don't care who they appoint. Because first of all, the system is flawed. The way the two parties then they appoint a flag bearer. And the most disappointing thing, you get somebody like Senge, who's young enough to be my grand Pekin. Okay? You get somebody like Ben Kaifala, who these were the kind of hopefuls about the future. The kind of people in the hope in Senegal today. Let's see what they will do. And they've joined the other generation will take after the previous generation who just continue to lead the country down a steep decline. So that's what me get for say. If we love our country, forget about this APC, SAPP nonsense. It's absolute nonsense. Stop criticizing the American president and ambassador where he speak in your opinion about the tripartite thing, not to talk nothing about election or restoration of political this and that. Let's allow, and we therefore be careful. Allow America, not a country where you mess with. They get far more sophisticated system than we. So APC will have exercise almost a similar sophistication when you deal with America. Not of begin openly to condemn. Both sides they do them. That's why SAPP, where the American ambassador talk, oh, sovereignty. What are we talking about? American man can say we not even get a pot to pee in. When they talk about sovereignty, we can't do anything for ourselves. So why don't we just keep quiet? So all the sovereignty nonsense, it's not going to benefit we if we not look the right thing. And if we not the right position, when they put, if then give we this so-called money what we try so hard forget, it will amount to nothing. It's not going to benefit us. So the tripartite thing, I'm still doubtful of. I don't care what's in the recommendation. If the right parties are not involved, the other political parties are not represented, they should have somebody speaking for them. Otherwise, nothing is going to work out. 10 years from now, it will be the same complaint. So let's just try for make sure, what would they talk about somebody, President Bill get an opportunity for making legacy, for correct some of the wrongs there. If he really believes, say, one for try watching and next be the try, for go out of power, but one for control the political trend. If he's just going to be a retired politician and take watching Providence Togiam and live a quiet life, that may be wonderful. Then he could get the courage for make the changes in what they advocate. So then things are not going to be repeated. But if he want for just find a way how the system for get worse, well, if that's what he wants his legacy to be, because in second time in office, the system said that's the end of it. So he should be trying for making legacy for be the man who will bring about change for the better. So let me go back to my co-host. Like I said, there is so much we can talk about. But Mr. Jamboret, back to you, sir. I'm sorry.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. I just wanted to ask a question. Are we sure Julius Maada Bio is ready to serve only 2 terms?
If you want to know my personal opinion, I don't see a clear evidence of that.
The evidence are indicating that he wants to continue.
So I'm answering your question. If we
Even
sure say
this Bar Association fiasco, now part of the plot.
Yep, I agree.
Part of the plot. Part of the plot. But I want to bring Sierra Leone'S their attention to a little bit of historical fact. People then think history is not relevant. It's very relevant because we don't learn from it. So we keep repeating the same thing. The first established governance system in West Africa was around the Senegambia Basin. And call them Songe. Some call them Ghana. Which is scatter the empire then agreed when they started trading horses for human beings. with the Arabs from Morocco and other parts of North Africa. As a matter of fact, now they will first set of people move can south, we inside Sierra Leone. That's why today you have the same name in Sierra Leone, Guinea, Guinea-Bissau, then Senegal and Gambia. Same surnames, Fofana, Mansari, Kunate, what they call Kanu, etc. That's done, then dispersed after the empire they fall. Then Sunjata Keita form Mali Empire. What is Mali Empire? This is greed. Mansa Musa, according to certain records, is always the richest man that has ever lived because his assessed value was going into 400 billion and more. Mansa Musa, that two things make him Mali Empire down. Ego and greed. Because of ego, he take almost 1,000 camel, load them with gold, go on Mecca, go take all the gold, go give Arab, and then they take better than today. Look at West Africa, they suffer. The act of one man, I destroy we, Mansa Musa. That's the part of history that we are not told. That wealth, if it was properly managed, would have made West Africa the richest part in the world today. Today now they do so. Today now they do so. All these shenanigans in Sierra Leone is surrounded by greed and ego. Greed and ego of a few people.
I can add two components. Ego, ignorance also plays a part. But go ahead. Ignorance.
I would not say ignorance. I would not say ignorance. No, I'm not saying ignorance. If Boydal or Jamboria can be aware of this, why shouldn't others not be aware of it? Is God partial to make some people enlightened and others ignorant? Life is an issue of choices. If you choose to enlighten yourself, you get enlightened. It's not about going all over the place talking I went to Harvard or Harvard or whatever. It's about what you know about your world that makes you educated. You can go to the best institutions on that, but if you don't learn what you need to learn to understand who you are and why you are and what you are, then you are nothing. Another thing is, most people who are misbehaving with education today do so because they have a childhood trauma. Anybody who see they go all over the place, they talk about in degree and in qualifications and this and that. He grew up in a deprived environment. Deprivation in childhood, deprivation from war. These are the two things that have led Sierra Leone to where it is today. I'm saying the Sierra Leoneans will not take it seriously. I know. If I've been Canada, they can't cause leaders them before taken serious. But these are the root problems we have in Sierra Leone. Today I'm deliberately saying it, not because I think I know it all, but I want Sierra Leoneans to begin to focus on researching these root problems. Coming to say APC did it, so SLPP should do it. That's a saying that I'm a moron. I don't think. Honestly. If there is a problem, think of how to solve it. Don't accept the problem. When you solve a problem, that's when you make progress in life. And as a matter of fact, the only way people can make genuine wealth in life is by solving problems. Elon Musk solved a problem and he made wealth. Steve Jobs solved a problem, he made wealth. Bill Gates solved a problem, he made wealth. Edison solved a problem, he made wealth. Marconi solved a problem, they made wealth. Around the world, every wealthy family solved the problem. Even with the Rothschild family that started banking, they solved the problem of how to manage finance. They made wealth. But Sierra Leoneans don't want to solve the problem. They want manna from heaven. And God cannot give us manna. You know why? God made us and gave us part of himself to think and take dominion over the earth. We will use the power of God in us for brutalize ourselves. And who are the ones doing all this brutality in Sierra Leone? These those who are supposed to be educated. It's not the lamb boys and banabums in the village. It's us who are educated. Education only means if you get a university degree, if you get a level of enlightenment, if you don't travel, come na a world side and you do civilized things, you for learn from that. Because that's informal education. But Sierra Leoneans refuse to learn. As a matter of fact, one thing about us, when we come to the diaspora, we become very clannish. Now, make we come England, you go America, you dey meet the Sierra Leone and they all pack one side early morning and they cost make us na the treat. Because that's part of them. Why are they cost then they crumble. Go to where Sierra Leoneans are gathered together, all 10 and they cost me. It's for bringing. So we have to begin to examine these issues. Ben Kelfala, when you look in behavior, what do you see? Now somebody who grew up in a deprived environment. By whichever means he became what he is today, maybe now somebody been trying for pusher, but he's not what he is. The same with Senge. Because there is a psychological fact. A child grows up into building his character from age 0 to age 7. Mr. Shillon, Mohammed Shillon, is still that character that was built by age 7. Except if he willingly say, okay, let me change this. But how many of us are ready to willingly change what we have in our unconscious mind? How many of us? So when they talk about saloon problem, not left for the point I'm at events and incidents. Now begin look at the root problem. The root problem is us, the people. We can take out Julius Maada Bio now, we replace out anybody. It's going to get worse, Mr. Shillon. It's going to get worse.
No, I
Until we
agree.
change what is here.
I agree.
Until we change what is here. One thing I thank God for coming to Norway. It changed a lot of things about my perception and beliefs. Now I see things differently. I have peace, inner peace. That's why looking at me at 69, I look like a 40-year-old boy. Come then a power look then now small about and some deaf men and team up you go feel see me and then I rank. We are as we think and we become as we think, Mr. Shillon. It's a fact of life. Sierra Leoneans need to begin to recognize and now stop hypocrisy. That's another part of we crisis in Sierra Leone. The Bar Association, a lot of things have been going wrong. They kept quiet. Now we don't come at the doorstep. They expect people to sympathize with them. If you ask me, I don't have any sympathy for what happened yesterday. Honestly. They created it. They created it. And now it's in their doorstep. So let them face the music. Let them face the music. It's talking about this, do that. It's all distraction. Let us look at the real thing that is happening. The real thing that is happening in Sierra Leone is a few people, less than 50 people, want to take control of the resources of the country. It's a resource war. And they are doing internal negotiations and they sell game amongst themselves. So what in that they result in, the APC and the SLPP party, they all don't die. They don't turn into clubs of hustlers. May God help Sierra Leoneans. But we are in for a big trouble. We are in for a big trouble, big trouble. Because this kind of situation where they build up so, no democratic process, no they change them. This tripartite where then they make noise, but let us ask a logical question. When all would have been said and done and recommendations made, who is going to implement them? Julius Madabio? Is it Julius Madabio who will implement them? If anybody can answer that question, then we can answer what the tripartite will bring. But if we cannot answer that question, let us expect the unexpected. Guys have, from the time when they take power, this fellow Cherno Barbie, don't they talk about state capture, state capture, state capture. People only paid attention at the money he was talking about. It's the money. It's another crisis with Sierra Leoneans. We only look at the material side of things. We don't look at the rational and other side. When it gets to us, we say, hey, God not there for that 10 day. God not wicked, I do for babysit we. We therefore begin to take responsibilities. Begin to think. We get brains. Everybody get brain. If we not use them, if we suffer, now we're responsible. So left this idiocy. Left this idiocy. Another thing about Sierra Leone, I would say publicly, we are not matured for democracy. A place that is matured for democracy, they not misuse democracy. Who they misuse democracy in Sierra Leone? They misuse them by misusing free speech. Those whose party is in power, they abuse free speech. Those who are not in power should not stop. When they talk, oh, it's against the government. That's why I said just now, if we have 7 million people in Sierra Leone, 6,900,000 crazy people. Sierra Leone needs post-war trauma healing, honestly. Otherwise, let Sierra Leone be prepared for a disaster. Because now self-sabotage, now they go on so. Even within the APC, where they call themselves, say, main opposition or whatever, then they sabotage themselves big time. So who is there to hold the center? Where is the center of Sierra Leone now? What is it that is holding the social fabric of Sierra Leone? Do they expect everyone to go down on their knees and become a sycophant? Because I think so now that's, and they try for lead we country into. I think now that's when they try for lead we country too. Everybody for play sycophant to a few people. We want for control the oil resources offshore, the Tonkolili iron ore mines. We also then they mine gold. They know they tell the people them. Ebo. Almost man they lick pantempe salt. With all this that these few people are doing, are they going to be here forever? If they are not going to be here forever, what kind of institutional capacity have they built in their children to inherit that wealth and make good use of it? We've seen people in Sierra Leone who are claiming to be rich. When they die, their children are to the paupers. We not learn from history. Not learn. So we always they do the same rubbish. Hold on, we dance publicly. That makes us an idiotic baboon dancing publicly after you've done something stupid. Until na say Adebayo na no more dey cause me they begin cause by English. Mr. Shillon, it's a
Yes, sir.
very serious situation we're in. It's a very serious situation we're in. And we should treat it with the seriousness it deserves. Sierra
I
Leone
think
is
so.
sinking. It's sinking.
Rapidly.
And we don't even know where
Rapidly.
we are headed.
A very steep decline, like I say. Very steep decline.
We don't even know where we are headed
We
for.
are racing to the bottom.
And another side we have
Consciously.
to take note of. Another side we have to take note of. If you listen to the comments coming from the international community, if you read the participation of various factors of the international community, if you read the involvement of certain foreign companies in this electricity crisis, you may want to ask, who is fooling who? Why are there double standards? Why are we seeing double standards? The people of Sierra Leone for wake up. That sleep na depa, they say in Jesus' name. Jesus has always been here. He never went away. But he will never come to your aid if you don't use your brains. You will never. You need to wake up and solve your problem without going to war. If the people of Sierra Leone collectively say, okay, Bo, this thing what happen, so we don't tire now, let's do so. It's minority calling themselves politicians, they will behave themselves. But then they misbehave because they no say, then get people out and they go lie to them, clap for them. Right now, when they talk so, certain sectors, if you tell them, say, this tripartite committee or whatever they call them, not get anything beneficial where they bring to we, then they tell you, say, you oppose Samora. You automatically become the enemy. Yes. That's what the problem is in the APC right now. Some people are saying it's best we wait for 2028. Others are saying Samoa will be given the presidency. Others are saying there is going to be a rerun. So now they have all cliques and clans and clubs within the same party. And this is the party that is claiming they want to take over and rule Sierra Leone, divided as there. When the head is not correct, nothing is correct. And that mentality problem is not recent. It has always been there. It's time we begin to look at it now. Let me begin examining with beliefs. Let me examine with perceptions so that we can get the correct attitude. And as Kroma came with attitude and behavior committee, we would have left the best legacy for Sierra Leone if we make that committee into a commission, equip them, train people, experience people. We're going to look at and then research into the things that we will need for change. We believe systems, the one that we need for change, let's change them. We believe in waiting for some external force for can do for we. And they make a few people they mislead with country and destiny. We need to begin to believe in ourselves that I can do this and go for it. The politics all na Sierra Leone are dependency politics. Brother Abiy get support because a few people feel say by supporting him, they will be having a few million leons for the cook and dance, go to nightclub, drink komole. When APC is out of power, a few people spend their time hoping that when APC is in power, they will depend on the few pitans within Sierra Leone for Bill 2 trios. That's what we are. And this is why we are as we are. We cannot examine those things and change them. Let us stop talking. And at best, let us stop praying to God. Because God will never come to help us. He don't tell we say make he give we part of himself. He didn't have the Quran. He said, I make come from clay, I put part of myself on him. He said, let the angels them bow them. Satan say, no, me not they bow. The Bible, Genesis tell we say God made man in his image and after his likeness and gave him free will to take dominion. With that free will, if God come now in the canal for can correct things for we, then we'll not get free will. Come up on stupidity for use of free will correctly. It's time we stop talking nice to ourselves in Sierra Leone. We no need for course, but let us talk like how they talk so let people like get the hard facts. Say now we responsible for what they go on and what wrong. And until we change what they now hate, until we change our allegiance to certain sets of people where they do mind control games on we, for mislead we, Sierra Leone not ever better. Because what you call political parties then in Sierra Leone, now clubs of mind games. We'll get power, thing go better for we. Oh, the other will not get power enough for better for her. Because you know the nightclub. We don't understand what Sierra Leone is, Mr. Shillon. Sierra Leone is just a drawing on a piece of paper. Until we understand what Sierra Leone is, until we understand that it doesn't matter whether I speak Mende, Timni, Limba, Loko, or whatever. You have the same DNA from Malinke Fulani background coming from Songe and Mali Empire. If we don't understand these basic facts, then let us keep talking and let us be crying for the disasters that are coming. It's going to get worse.
Now, thank you very much, Mr. Jamburia. In fact, listening to you reminds me I was watching a YouTube broadcast by someone else about Sierra Leone and somehow just making the analysis of someone I regret a very high respect for. He tried for explain to we say, oh, Sir Albert Magai was kind of concerned about the dominance of the Creole when he became president, or when he became prime minister, but he felt there was some unfairness about the Creoles then dominating most of the civil service. Therefore, he embarked on making radical changes. And in your analysis, it seemed like that was I thought he was going to say that was one of Sir Albert Magai influenced them. I mean, nothing wrong with being concerned about one group being so dominant in a segment, but you have to think of how, like now we're in society today, you get the Fullers. Commercially, they are very dominant as a group. But you can't unfairly victimize them or start making laws, for disadvantage them. You go hurt the country because they did not get to where they are by taking undue advantage of the system. They walk within the system, they get to where they are. So we forget nothing but admiration for them. And use them as an example. So if you're not president, you come, you say, I'm not like Fulamandem because they dominate the commercial aspect of the country. And you begin for disadvantage, then you will hurt the country because they not to so. So the same thing, when Sir Albert felt that, as concerned as he may have felt, if indeed that's what his concern was, I've heard that also, that the Creoles then dominate the civil service, if for gradually and intellectually try for even the playing field, The Creoles didn't get there by taking over. Now the white man put them there by merit. Even though, to me, understanding, the white man not be to discriminate. The first non-Creole force commander, what the country get, Namide man, Brigadier Lansana, who started the army as a cook, barely literate. He rose through the ranks. The white man not decide for go get a Jackson Smith or a Lambert. No, he put Lansana there because Lansana was the most qualified. It all go through the ranks. In the early years, you get non-Creoles them who worked in the civil service. Like then A.J. Momo. How did Panda get to be chief of the civil service? He walked through the civil service. President Kaba. When I was in high school, President Kaba was a permanent secretary of a ministry. And you talk about a long, long time ago. But so when you get a
Ministry of
leader who
Trade.
comes in, yes, sir, there you go. But when you get a president or a prime minister who comes in and play that tribal game that is dangerous, you will hurt the country. And when you disenfranchise the Creole them in the name of tribal equality, without putting some thought into it, this is what you get. We all are one, like Mr. Jambore had say. It shouldn't matter if you're not Minde, Creole, Timini, Limba. All we should do, any good leader should give equal opportunity. Now that would they accuse the white man for an America, and that's the name of the game. There are people, you get civil rights activists because then they claim, say, one race is being disadvantaged and one other race is being given undue advantage. What have we learned from their practices here? So when you get a leader who doesn't even consider himself at heart president of the people, Creole man, Limba man, Loko man, Madigo man, Fula man, you're not the president for them all. You're not the president for one tribe, so you cannot give preferential treatment to one tribe and expect that to be good policy. You cannot give position to a person who doesn't. Sometimes I'm so tempted because I like to address the issue here. When I was growing up, and I was I'm from the Creole side, although Nigerian connection. The Creole people then, among themselves, were complaining about the Creole daddy, grandpa them. Would be the refuse for hire than Creole relatives. And then they accuse them people and they are selfish. And so we say, and so none of them family picking a no hire. Even when they go to, well, there was a reason for that. Because the Creole man believe if you're not qualified for the job, it not going to give you. It will give somebody else who not to, because I saw the white man train him. Because he wanted to live up to the expectation of the standard where the job we just set. Okay, so we'll therefore go back and reassess history and make sure if you put blame on any group, make it be a justifiable blame. But we don't really tilt the balance of common sense in our country. And until we go back to the foundational aspect of democracy, and then even look the way we draw the constitution, that open-ended authority. Now, I also want to tell people, and please, sometimes not just listen to the messenger, or not just ignore, if somebody tell you for read an article or listen to an audio, not just say, not listen to Mr. Shilani audio, not listen to Imran Toure audio, or not listen to Sylvia Biden. Listen to what you get for say, because sometimes they talk sense. I give you a good example, and I recommend. I am not advocating, nor am I promoting any individual. But in political discourse in Sierra Leone, I think the best analysis I have heard of the extraordinary power given to the presidency of Sierra Leone, not the president, the presidency, the office, is that an audio put out by Sylvia Blyden. Listen to it. It will scare you. And she has made the best analysis of the extraordinary power vested in the presidency. You gotta listen, because if you say you don't listen to Sylvia Blyden, not to Sylvia Blyden, you do. Now you said you need for no. And in fact, she questions what's in the happen with the legal profession. Why haven't they raised them on thing here? Why not in when not a lawyer they raise them? You don't have to like her. You know, but give credit where credit is due. So all I'm saying to people, rise above this APC, LCPP stuff. I know some broadcasters, they cannot see the injustice to the Auditor General. They can't see it because na Creole. But you're not hurting Lara Taylor Pierce. Now the country you hurt. Because Lara Taylor Pierce not only was victimized by this, there was a guy we called Tamba something, a Kono guy, when an assistant, who's also affected. So we need for just look, wrong is wrong. If we really want for help the country.
Chilon.
Yeah.
There's our hold you thought.
No problem, sir.
These people we call Creole. Have we ever asked ourselves who these people are?
Some of us know, but I don't think we do.
Have we asked, because if they say Creole and dominate, so you for pull them there and bring your own fumble them. Have you done a DNA test to find out if the Creoles don't have that same DNA you want to bring to replace them with?
Exactly. Because Creole exists. Every Creole man belongs to a tribe. In reality, we're all connected to one of the local tribes.
The point I want to make is, it was our forefathers who sold their own people into slavery. The white man had the record that we took these people from that place. So they brought them back there. And a fact we most Sierra Leoneans don't know, there were 2 colonies in Sierra Leone. As a matter of fact, the first colony in Sierra Leone was not in the western area. It was on the Schabura Islands. You know why?
No.
The British Navy established a garrison there to stop slavery, because Schabura Island was a slave import.
Okay, and the Schabura Island
history record.
Isn't that President Bio home
I
area?
don't want to talk about questions.
No, it's good, so let me link them, because with this Minde association, sometimes we need for
people begin to see the connections and whatever. I don't want to talk about the person, because that person does not understand these issues. So that's why he's doing what he's doing. As a matter of fact, if that person does his DNA test, he will find his link to Kafu Bulom Chiefdom in Potloko district. Because Kafu Bulom and Nongoba Bulom in the Bont district, they have the same people. And that area that is called Banta in the Moyamba district was a Timni place. There used to be a set of Timni called Mabanta Timni, living from Shenge right down to Pujaun. That's why when you go to those places, you meet surnames like Kamara, Conte, Bangura, etc. People need to go and study their history for them to behave better. People who call Creoles, no, people know where them take from, we then bring back. Yes, some are mixed with Nigerians. But the Nigerian Creole them, we not say na then are the Aku, then they Fulatong, then they Frobe, then they Abadin. But the other people, na mixture of Mende, Loko, Timni, Limba, etc. And who were the people sold most into slavery? They were the Mendes. Their
The
own people
Mindes,
sold
indeed,
them into slavery.
indeed, the Mindes are the ones who
Their
was
own people
mostly
sold
sold.
them into slavery. Then lie for
Precisely.
them. Say this now rich man, this now that, then sell them. Now hate today. Now today they affect with society. Now they play into with politics so. And the irony about it is, these same people them, when they condemn Creole, now then grab back, they give citizenship to black Americans coming to Sierra Leone to seek a return. And who are these people? Creole. I don't care whether they talk American English or they talk the Madingo Nako, or they talk who they call Creole. Creole. You see, we have to begin to think in Sierra Leone. Especially us who claim to be intellectuals. We are not thinking. We are morons. I make we mislead the destiny of a country we're supposed to be the richest country in Africa. Let not take your time, sir.
Well, thank you so much, sir, because we're having such a fine conversation. We greatly appreciate your presence as always. We greatly appreciate the listeners and contribution, participation. So thank you, folks, for listening. Thank you for all the wonderful comments you want to send. We hope and we will continue for listening. We hope we don't educate ourselves. We hope that we learn from them broadcasting here we do on a weekly basis. And a profound thanks to Mr. Jamboria, who, as I always say, we learn a lot from every time. I'm yet to see him come on the show, or I've yet to watch him on another show, and I haven't walked away with knowing more than I knew when I started listening to the show. Of course, we also have some able people in the VOS, like Mr. Kagbo, Ms. Matilda Cole, where they present fantastic programs. So many thanks to them and VOS, and let us continue the good work and tap ourselves on the shoulders that we are not trying to please any particular group or set of people, but we are trying to please the spirit of Sierra Leone, the spirit of the country, and we hope it will prevail one day. Thank you, good night, and thank you, Mr. Jaboria, and thank you, we producers from Canada. Good night.